Welcome to Delta Green, God's Teeth, brought to you by Black Project Gaming. Get read in at blackprojectgaming.com. I'm Vince, your host and handler for this campaign. Joining me are Cami as FBI Special Agent Sarah Hart, Doug as Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Gerrald Swenson, Jack as Special Agent Adrian Selivanov with the FBI's Computer Analysis Response Team, and Sonia as Dr. Leah Caron with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. God's Teeth is a campaign of unthinkable horrors, written by Caleb Stokes for Delta Green, the role-playing game. For more information on Delta Green, please visit delta-green.com. Music in these episodes is brought to you by Cryo Chamber and Epidemic Sound. This podcast contains depictions of and allusions to violence against both children and animals, as well as unnatural horror, graphic violence, and adult language. As a result, it is intended solely for mature audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised. In our last session, one of the first things you all did after having performed an initial examination of Carrie Houghton's body, and for you, Adrian, looking at the footage of the murder that had been captured on closed-circuit television outside the storage unit where Carrie's body was found, you all were taken by Dr. Grace with the Harvard team to look at something that had been referred to as the stew. And it was at that point that you all experienced something of an awakening. Some of you noticed a very strange odor, a smell that was simultaneously both nauseating and alluring, despite the fact that you were in completely self-contained biohazard suits. But it was a smell that Bear himself had previously been familiar with during these past 15 years. And the stew obviously exhibited some unnatural properties and immediately brought to mind the remains of Yelena Kalamatiano, aka Babushka, and unfortunately Bobby Gleekman. It was at that point that Dr. Grace asked for your recommendation, or really your marching orders, on how to handle it. And Dr. Grace specifically mentioned that they had at least 2 biohazard or medical waste disposal facilities that they could go to in Maryland to dispose of it. And you gave her and her team the all clear to do that. So for all intents and purposes, the stew is handled. It has been or will be destroyed. So that's one mark in the job done column. Shortly after that, you were taken to look at and examine 11 bodies in unnatural states of preservation. They were essentially mummified, but all of them exhibited the same traumatic brain injury that Carrie exhibited, which indicated possible unnatural sources or influence. So for the time being, you arranged to have the Harvard team move it to the University of Maryland medical campus for quote-unquote further examination. What's going to be done with it after that remains to be determined. Now, after those 2 tasks had been completed, you all kind of split. We had Bear and Adrian going to Carrie Houghton's apartment about an hour away, and we had Sarah and Leah remaining on site, continuing their inquiries there. One thing the 2 of them noticed as they were wrapping up for the day was what appeared to be a drone. Although they had been unable to identify the pilot, it was a commercial off-the-shelf drone, kind of hidden amongst the throng of reporters that had surrounded the site. So likely belonging to a news organization, a reporter, possibly an independent journalist, who knows? Because unfortunately you were unable to spot who was actually piloting it or what its point of origin might have been. But at that time, we also had Adrian and Bear checking out, of course, Carrie Houghton's apartment, as mentioned. Unfortunately, things did not go very smoothly. While there was an attempt to initially examine Carrie's apartment, the amount of detritus within the apartment itself as a result of very obvious hoarding was just too insurmountable for you to tackle right now at this time. So, kind of simultaneously, Adrian, when you reviewed the footage of the abduction from when Carrie was taken from her apartment, you were obviously able to visually confirm that the abductors were the same people who would eventually murder her. And the footage was of a much clearer, much better quality than that of the murder site itself back at what used to be Cornucopia House. Shortly thereafter, there was a discussion and a disagreement involving whether or not the building management employee on site, one Danielle, would be willing and or able to leave the key. And that turned into a whole thing where inevitably Adrian and Danielle called Detective Sergeant Almadina Velasquez with the Maryland State Police at precisely the same time. Of course, Adrian was actually calling Sarah, but trying to bluff that he was calling Detective Sergeant Velasquez. And of course, things further devolved from there. The team essentially has been caught in a lie. And previously it had been stated that Adrian and Bear were going on a coffee run, but of course now they're at Carrie's apartment, and lots of hurt feelings on the part of Detective Sergeant Velasquez and your working relationship with her. So definitely some bonds to repair there, figuratively speaking, not literally a bond. But on your way back to the apartment, Adrian, you had an encounter with a bat. What appeared to be a rabid bat crawled out from beneath a car and seized so violently that it appeared to have broken its own back, and you scooped it up in your jacket, at which point it bit into your hand through the fabric and potentially exposed whatever could be afflicting it. And when we ended last session, you were on your way up to the apartment to speak with Bear to let him know that you were, for all intents and purposes, compromised. And I believe, Leah and Sarah, you were heading back to your hotel?
I believe so, yes. We didn't have a car or any transport available at the time.
That's right. You gave the one car to Bear and Adrian, and so you were going to Uber back. We will say, unless you decided to remain on site, you have gotten your Uber and you're on your way back, but we can pick up there. As it stands, there are obviously multiple phases to this cover-up. We're dealing with the site at Cornucopia House, we're dealing with the murder of Carrie Houghton, and we also have to deal with what happened to the survivors of the Cornucopia House raid all those years ago. So when it comes to Cornucopia House, we dealt with the stew, we've started to deal with the preserved bodies. For the most part, that's starting to wrap itself up. What remains is the death and the murder of Carrie Houghton. You still, were considering searching her apartment. And don't forget, there was the traumatic brain injury, the chronic encephalopathy that was exhibited in her brain tissue, which could be indicative of an unnatural influence. And then finally, figuring out who to pin this on. There is still unanswered questions about what exactly happened with the previous investigation back in 2001 and who you could potentially pin the blame for what happened at Cornucopia House on. You've got two kind of prominent suspects, for lack of a better term at this point. You could pin it on Maryland State Police, which were the ones who ran the investigation. Or you could try to pin it on the county sheriff's office, which might be a bit more difficult because their involvement was considerably more limited when compared to Maryland State Police. And that is a good question, Cami. The reason the crime scene had been sealed was Maryland State Police had started their examination, had started to search a crime scene when Pizzarelli and the federal government exerted their influence and got it shut down and closed.
Okay, I had something about that in my notes. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. That's the current state of the investigation. Did anybody have any questions on any of that?
So, I guess is the Velasquez is on her way to the building we're in, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and I gave you guys a heads up. Yeah.
Right. So, but I don't think we have any idea what to do when she gets here.
Yeah, you could leave.
I mean, that's probably what the bear would want to do.
Because she needs time to get there because all of this had literally just happened. It took you like, what, an hour or two to get there?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be about an hour either way, so you're going to pass each other going in opposite directions. But as long as you're not there on site, that's a problem for another day.
Given Adrian and my human, I think that's probably a better option.
Yeah, so we'll start with you two. Adrian, you've got the corpse of this potentially ill bat wrapped up in your FBI raid jacket, having just been bitten, and you were racing up the stairs to Bear to let him know what had happened with Detective Sergeant Velasquez and Sarah and that whole kerfuffle downstairs. So,
yeah, I think he rushes in and Bear immediately notices that his jacket is off. It's sort of bundled up in his arms. I don't think he's wearing any sort of like protective gloves either, which is why he got bit. But he just sort of puts his bundled jacket on the counter and without thinking about it, just turns on the faucet, bare hands, and just starts to like hold his bitten hand under the sink. And you can hear him cursing to himself, but it's not in English. It seems to be in Russian.
Everything okay there?
No, that thing, it's in my jacket. Some bat bit me in the hand. That's not the worst of our problems right now.
Wait, a bat bit you in the hand?
Yes, a fucking bat.
Like
hairy, flying rodent.
That's okay. And you got the bat now?
It's in the jacket.
Okay, that's not the weirdest thing in this room. Go ahead.
I just hope I don't have rabies or anything. God. No, things have gone really, really bad. I was downstairs with the building manager, and I thought that I don't know what I thought. I don't even think I was thinking. Velasquez is going to be on the way.
What?
I don't even know how to explain it, but she is going to be here probably very soon, within the hour. So...
Wait a second. She doesn't know we're here.
She does now.
Fuck. Okay. Oh, shit.
Do we wait around for her, or...
I do not want to face down that bitch. Not tonight. No way. She is scary, man. Seriously.
Can we... do you have like a first aid kit in the car or something, or I can't...
We can stop at a drugstore, man. I don't know.
Do they have like rabies vaccines at drugstores?
No. I don't think so. Do they? Shit, I don't know.
Oh, God.
Look. This place is a fucking mess. This is gonna take days to go through. There's no point in hanging around here waiting for her to show up and fucking read us the riot act and God knows what else.
Yeah, I think that Adrian was in such a hurry that he didn't realize it, and he realizes that when you'd asked about where the bat was, that when he'd thrown the coat onto the counter, that the counter was covered with so much like old plates and food wrappers and other pieces of garbage, and that even the sink is filled with dishes caked in old food stuff, that he realizes that, oh wow, this is a pit. I should take the bat with us, right?
That would like be contaminating the scene, dude. Yeah, no, we got it. Yeah, take the bat. We got to take it. We got to get out of here, man. She knows we're here.
I'll explain it to you on the way.
Oh fuck. What did Pizzarelli say? He said something about he said that these fake identities that we have, they're not going to stand up.
Adrian doesn't say anything. He just has this kind of pathetic look on his face, and he uses his elbow to turn off the faucet and dries his hands on his shirt. We got to get going if we're going to go. Yeah.
Sorry about your hand, dude. Let's get the fuck out of here right now. Let's close everything up. Wait. Do you have the key?
No.
We can't even lock the fucking door.
I think the building manager will take care of it. She's not very happy with me. Or you.
Wait, she's mad at me?
You freaked her out.
I just told her to be careful.
You told her to get a gun.
Well, yeah, that's what you do when you want to be careful.
It's at that point that you hear a rapid knock on the door jamb for the open apartment door, and you hear Danielle once again. Gentlemen, I'm going to have to ask you to leave now, please.
Oh, we're just getting our things. Don't worry. We're going to be out of here in just a moment.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry. I know you're upset. But, yeah. Be careful. We'll see you. And Bear just walks out.
She says nothing and closes the door behind you and locks it. And you begin making your way back to...
I think we're going to try and stop at a drugstore on the way and just get like some simple, antibiotic cream. And
is that something that we'd have in the first aid kit, though? Like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but the car we have is like a rental.
Well, I mean, we also have a doctor who's on our team, so...
Oh, yeah.
You drove your own vehicle, Bear, because you've got the arsenal in the back.
Would Bear, let's just roll a luck roll on that.
There you go.
There you go. Bear has an old first aid kit that looks like it hasn't been stocked in like 5 years, but
yeah, you've got some rudimentary like antibacterial cream and isopropyl alcohol, that kind of thing. We'll wait to see what the licensed medical professional has to tell you when you get back to the hotel. But we'll say yes, you've got access to some very rudimentary first aid supplies.
Here, you put this shit on while I'll drive.
He does so.
Good. Sarah and Leah, what are you doing while the gentlemen are making their way back?
Leah, I think, is thinking really hard about those bodies and thinking about the cover-up, and she will turn to Sarah after they get back to the hotel room and say, like, so cadavers or bodies are used for educational purposes and then turn into medical waste or disposed of afterwards. Do you think it would be possible to have to arrange a mix-up?
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. We should let our friendlies at Harvard know that that's the direction to take.
Yeah, just because it'll get people pissed at them, but it'll be just like a clerical error and not necessarily something that can be connected.
Right, it's a teaching
facility.
Yeah. Wouldn't be too out of line to say that some student fucked around and messed up with some paperwork.
Yeah. Or like there was a literal just error in the system. And who knows, like you generally look at the bodies when they dispose of them. To my knowledge, at least. But I wasn't at that side of the whole,
Leah, make an N times 5 roll for me.
All right, please let this be a good idea.
98 out of 85.
At least it wasn't a fumble.
If you want to make one as well, Sarah, you can.
Sure, why not? Success.
Very nice. It is a good idea. It's not something the Harvard team is likely going to be able to do for you. With that being said, you have...
a hacker on our team.
There you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, when Adrian gets back, I'll see if he can hack into the system and, I don't know, swap out an I for an L somewhere and mess everything up for us.
It could just be like identification for the body bags could also be switched around.
Yeah, exactly.
But, God, what did they do? What do we do?
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and call... What time is it right now, actually?
I would say we're pushing probably 10 o'clock at night.
He's probably up. I'm going to call Pizzarelli.
Okay. Phone rings a couple times. And eventually, Anthony Pizzarelli picks up. Yeah.
Jurisdiction on the Houghton apartment. Is that ours?
It's federal. Yeah, for the time being.
All right. We got a sergeant here that might be a problem.
Velasquez?
That's the one.
What's the issue?
New guy might have fucked us, but I think I can talk my way through it.
Selivanov?
Yeah.
Okay. On a scale from 1 to fucked, where are we on the scale?
Right now, maybe a 5. Let me have a conversation with her and I'll let you know if that raised. I might need to bring her in.
Bring her in? What do you mean bring her in?
I mean, make her a friendly.
Okay.
I think she's more worried about her own ass than that department's. If I can get her on our side and say we'll make sure it doesn't fall on her, I think we can get her.
That's a fucking hell of a gamble.
It's either that or I'm sure she's going to start digging into her identities and we're going to have a bigger headache.
Oh, god damn. Okay. You ever hear the saying, you break it, you buy it?
Once or twice?
You better be ready for the contingency if she rejects your offer.
I know.
I need to make sure that I understand that you understand what I mean by that.
I'll remove her if she becomes a problem. But she can't handle what we're giving her.
Okay.
All right.
Keep me posted.
Yeah, sweet dreams. And I hang up. Okay. Yeah, just looking back at Leah, like, all right. I think we got to try to recruit her at some level, or she's just going to be a problem, but we can talk about that when the guys get here.
Leah nods slowly. All right, that's going to be definitely an undertaking.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess while we wait for them to come back, I'm going to go through my files and try and pick through like what would be something that I can share that if it goes sideways, it's not going to be like the biggest issue, but it will be maybe intriguing enough for her to listen.
I can help.
Cool. Yeah, we'll go through our stuff so far.
Adrian and Bear, I'm assuming you're heading back. Adrian, you're giving him the recap. Is there anything you want to discuss or do before you arrive back at their hotel, or do we want to pick up with your arrival?
I'll leave it with Doug if he wants to do anything. I think in the car, though, that as Adrian is talking and giving him the breakdown of what happened, he is also on his laptop looking up rabies symptoms and what to do if you are bitten.
You're going to find that you need to go to the ED right away, man.
This is true. You need to go get tested.
When he sees that, he is like getting more pale by the minute, and he's like, "I'm gonna die. I fucked up today. I'm gonna die."
I don't think she's gonna kill us, dude.
No, the bat. And if it's not the bat, then it's gonna be her, or if it's not gonna be her, it's gonna be Sarah or someone.
Sarah might kill you. She might. No, I shouldn't say that. But
this is my first field assignment. I'm not built for this.
I've been bitten by dogs before, man. It sucks, but you still got the bat?
Yeah, it's in the back seat of the coat.
I mean, maybe we can take it to the doc and see what she says.
It's just drive, and if she says we gotta go to the ER, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Okay, I mean, you've never been to the ER before?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to the ER. Just drive.
I think it's not going to be very long before Bear just starts rolling off the like crazy ideas for excuses they can give for why they were in Terry Houghton's apartment. None of them even remotely plausible. But he's just like going through in his brain, just spinning off like, maybe we can say that, we wanted to get coffee and then, we started thinking about it and we just, he's just reeling off one crazy thing after another, trying to think of some kind of excuse for why they would be there, which obviously there can't be. So probably by the time we get back to the hotel, I imagine Adrian's probably sick of all this.
Yeah, he has a very grim look on his face right now.
So we'll pick up with your arrival back at your hotel outside of Zion, Maryland. And yeah, whose room do you all convene in?
Probably Sarah's, right?
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Caron, can you take a look at this?
Take a look at what?
And he shows him his crudely bandaged hand.
What's this?
There was a bat in the parking lot of the apartment complex, and I thought, I don't know what I was thinking. It was thrashing about. It was looking like it was having a seizure or something, like it snapped its own back. And I remember seeing the birds at when we first met, and I remember hearing stories about animals, and I thought that might be connected to something. But then when I tried to pick it up, it bit me.
Sorry, it bit you?
It bit me.
And it was seizing?
It was, yes.
Go to the fucking ER now. Take that corpse with you. Go to the ER and get fucking tested.
Okay.
This is a medical emergency. It could be rabies. You need to go the hell to the ER. Bear,
Yeah?
can you take him to the ER?
Yeah, hold on. And Bear pulls out his phone and starts looking for the closest emergency room.
Sarah, I'm really sorry.
We've got it handled, I think. Maybe. We'll see how fucked we are tomorrow. Go make sure you're not, old yeller.
Dying.
For the sake of brevity, we'll say Adrian, Bear, you take him to the ER. You get tested. You turn over the corpse of the bat. Adrian, go ahead and roll 1d4 for me.
Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Beautiful.
That's good, right?
That is. You will get the results of the test in 1 day.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
Oh, good.
Should they start him on rabies shots now?
They have indeed given him a shot.
Okay, all right.
I think it's just now starting to sink in for you, Adrian, that maybe one of those tally marks on the window when you met in DC with these people was for you. And you've now joined this very select, very bizarre club, for lack of a better term. Make a sanity test for me.
Oh, good.
Damn.
Damn.
With a 1 out of 74, you lose nothing. You're just more worried about having rabies at this point.
Yeah, I think he's worried about that, but I think that he's sort of steeling himself with cold logic. Yeah, this stuff is really intense and really brutal, but it's all just human. There's nothing abnormal about it, and the whole animal stuff. It's just a weird, bizarre coincidence. But I think he's just really trying to keep himself grounded.
That makes sense. We'll say that you're able to get back to the hotel probably shortly after midnight. And the rest of the evening is all of yours, whatever you want to discuss or do with the time that you have. I will say, especially for you, Bear, if you do decide to push any further, you're going to risk exhaustion. And Bear, you're already technically exhausted from your all-night drive the night before, so you're running on fumes at this point.
Yeah, I think Bear is just gonna, his mind's still spinning for trying to think of an excuse, and he'll probably try and talk to Miriam about those excuses, but he's almost fallen asleep as he's talking about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if he's still in there trying to contribute, she'll just say, go get some sleep. It can wait till morning. I already called Pizzarelli. We'll have it sorted.
He's not pissed?
To be decided on the severity of how pissed he is.
All right. I mean, if you've got it, good. Okay. I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah. Get some rest.
All right. We'll do this in the morning.
No coffee trips.
No coffee trips. Good night, everybody. And Bear walks out.
Adrian, what do you do with the remainder of your evening?
I think he'd like to talk to Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just probably looking over a few files in her room. Doors open.
Yeah, he'll knock. He's polite.
Yeah, coming in.
Agent Hart?
How's the hand?
It's still kind of tender. The rabies shot actually kind of hurts a little bit more right now.
Well, fingers crossed, I guess.
They said it should be ready in about a day.
All right.
I wanted to come in and apologize. I am a bit new to the field. I've spent all of my career behind a desk at a computer, and I thought I was thinking on the fly, and I was thinking on the fly, and I thought that it was really, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess maybe I just watched one too many movies where something like that gambit would have worked. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to say that I'm sorry.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said that everything was fine. I'd also be lying if I said that I never fucked up. Something like that. Gets in your head once you start walking around carrying a badge. So, we've learned, we're fixing it, and we move forward. And no more surprises. Yeah?
Can I ask how we're fixing it?
Well, and she kind of like turns the files a little bit towards him. We are going to attempt to recruit Velasquez.
So she would know everything.
Not everything, but enough to keep her, I guess, intrigued and out of our way.
And she can't say no to us, right? Like, we're the law.
She can say no, and she can make an even bigger headache for us than we already have. But I think she is more worried about saving her skin and having this case not fall on her as far as blaming and who fucked up 15 years ago or whatever. So if we can say that we'll save her, I think she's going to be open to what we have to say. Plus, technically, she can't even investigate that apartment without us. So if she wants to do anything, she needs us. She might not like us, but she's going to have to work with us.
I guess everything's working out then.
Still have to have that conversation with her. But
What if she says no?
then I have a different job to do.
He looks curious and almost as if he's going to ask what, but I think something in his brain turns on and he realizes what that probably means, and he stops himself from continuing. It sounds like you've got a lot of work ahead of you and it's getting late. I'm going to go back to my room. Did you want any coffee or something?
I told Barry the same thing. No coffee runs. No surprises. I'm good. Go get some sleep.
Thank you. And does like a little bit of like a slight bow. It was very awkward looking. And he'll make his way out.
Yeah, once she's alone, the like confidence kind of drops a little bit and she just like rubs her face for a second and settles in for, she's going to go to bed at a reasonable time, but she's going to be awake for a little bit longer.
What's your bureaucracy score there?
40.
So something that you've seen done before and something you think could maybe provide a veneer of officiality, if that's the word, for what you're about to attempt with Velasquez. You think to go online and print out what's known as a standard form 312, which is a classified information non-disclosure agreement. Essentially something that you can pass to someone, have them sign, and essentially put them on the hook for not divulging what it is you're about to divulge to them for fear of violating espionage laws. Simply put.
Okay. I will do that.
Yeah, just a little something to maybe drive the point home a little more, make it seem more official than maybe it actually is.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then just since it's been like a little bit, is there anything that I have? I know I don't have the folder. I can't show her that, unfortunately. But is there anything that I do have that I could be like, hey, this case is fucking weird and we're looking into it, to kind of, once, you know, she signs that, to share with her to kind of try and get her back on our side?
Yeah, you have nothing official, nothing written down. Writing things down tends to be hazardous to one's health in this line of work.
Right.
So a lot of it is going to be word of mouth.
Okay. So then I think what I'll do is, without like naming herself, Dr. Caron or Bear, kind of like pull some information that I know happened 15 years ago and tie it to what's happening today. So I kind of have like a timeline of like, here's where things are kind of lining up and it's very weird. This is what we're looking into for real, kind of thing, without going full into like, there was a Baba Yaga here and it killed my friend, the priest.
Okay.
Are you thinking of telling her that we were involved 15 years ago, or?
No, not going to name
Okay.
names, at least not right out the gate. If she needs more convincing, Sarah might say like, I was there, but she wouldn't throw you guys under the bus unless you were down for that. But we're going to see if I can get her in without revealing that first.
Yeah, I think that's probably wise.
And there was also the information that Leah had found out about the Skopsky, however you say it,
The Skopsy cult.
that could be leveraged in this scenario if necessary, and she will tell Sarah about it.
What was that again?
Leah had tracked down the area where the Skopsy cult was based out of after the whole Baba Yaga business. She went to the root of it. She didn't go there physically, but he had told Delta Green about it, and they had, quote unquote, handled it? ? But it was doing the same kind of shit or promoting the same kind of ideas that Cornucopia House once was.
Gotcha. So there's a bit of a paper trail to some cult stuff that
Yeah.
we could. Okay, cool.
Leah, what do you do with the remainder of your evening, if anything?
I don't think there's much she can do, honestly, other than maybe trying to remember about the protocols about like the body incineration back from when she was in med school, however long that was, I forget. But I think she would also try to think about manipulating forensic evidence maybe in their favor. Thinking about like, if they can't get those bodies exterminated right away, like what can be done to like discredit the bodies.
Got it. Your medical is at 60, correct?
Medicine is 60.
You know it would just be a matter of finding a way to earmark those bodies as medical waste, as, ready for destruction, for cremation. Kind of in line with what you're already thinking, right? Like, these are cadavers that have already been used for study.
For teaching purposes.
Correct. And they can now be disposed of. So it's just a matter of getting access to the digital records and altering them.
Okay.
Or sneaking into the hospital and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take a genius to realize that doing it remotely is probably the easiest way to do that.
Yeah, she'll definitely the next day make a note to herself to bring it up to Adrian.
Okay. So with that, you all settle in for an evening to rest. Bear, since you had lost some willpower, go ahead and roll 1d6. And with that, you've got 4, so you regain 4 willpower.
Well, that helps. I'm still not at my max, but close.
Perfect. So the next day, what time do you think you all probably start getting up and getting moving? Especially you, Sarah, because you probably stayed up a little lot later. You probably went to bed a little later. What time do you think you start getting up and getting moving?
Probably around like 8-ish. I think she's planning to call Velasquez as soon as Velasquez clocks in. So she's up and ready.
At about probably 7:45, if you're still asleep, your phone begins ringing and probably wakes you.
Oh, yeah. She'll sit up and turn the lamp on and grab it. Hello?
You around? And it's Velasquez.
I was going to call you. Beat me to it. But yes, I am.
You're staying at, and she'll rattle off the name of your hotel, right?
Yes, I am. And I'll give her my room number.
See you in 2 minutes.
All right. I hang up and I put on a jacket or something really quick.
And it's probably maybe 2-3 minutes later, and you get a knock on the door.
I'll open it.
It is Detective Sergeant Velasquez.
Come on in.
So we need to talk.
Yes, we do.
She has a couple of printouts in her hand, and she hands one of them over to you.
All right, I'll look at it.
It is a photo with your name associated to it. Not Miriam Rhodes, but Sarah Hart. I did some digging. I called the cop that drove by, that found the body at the storage unit. And she had gotten a call from a deputy with the Hendry County Sheriff's Office in Florida. And he had wanted to know about a list of names. So I looked them up. And that's what I found.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Go ahead and make a sanity roll.
Okay. Ooh, success.
You lose nothing. But make an int ×5 roll.
Oh, another success. Oh my god, this does not bode well. It means I'm going to fuck up all the other ones.
Well, with that 47 out of 80, you're shaken, and it's enough to kind of maybe put you off on the back foot, but this isn't ironclad. Not necessarily. So a lot is going to ride on how you decide to handle this. You all have been lying to me from second one, and I need to know what's going on before this goes any further.
Yeah, I thought it might come to that. And I'm going to go get that little form that I had printed off and have ready to go. And kind of put it on the hotel dresser and slide it over to her. Before I say anything, I'm going to need this signed.
Classified non-disclosure agreement. What the fuck is this?
Classified.
And I will say, as a refresher for you, Cami, the player, you'll recall that the Harvard team isn't, especially Dr. Grace and Dr. Campbell, they're not necessarily read into exactly what it is that the program does or is, as far as they know. It's more related to like bioterrorism and that kind of thing, with some sprinklings of weirdness.
Right.
But she will sign it and slide it back over to you.
Okay. Well, cards on the table now. And I'm going to pull out some of the paperwork and the files that I had already prepped. Again, it's not anything that's going to be like earth-shattering major revelations or anything that ties us to that initial investigation initially. But I'm just going to kind of start laying out the timeline of the last 15 years and where there are some weird little like coincidences and oddities. And here's like where this cult popped up and it popped up here, and just like slowly start laying it out and kind of telling her, my team is here because there's nothing about this case that is normal. And officially, we're not here, as you gathered by the fake identities. But, I mean, what little you've worked on this case, or the amount that you've worked on this case, whether it's been now or whether it's been what happened to that place years ago, there's no way you can walk away from this and look at me with a straight face and say, this is normal, that anything about this is normal.
The last two guys, the Baswell and Dale, they chalked it up to drug shit. That one of the guys there was connected to some organized crime, drug trafficking, something like that. And it was a hit gone wrong, but that never made much sense to me. It just seemed like they wanted it to go away.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, now it's come back. So my team, we are here to not let it get swept under the rug again, to fully investigate, figure out what the fuck is actually going on. And yes, there is a chance that some of this might land on the local PD. Sorry. But if you're willing to work with me, we can go investigate the Houghton apartment together, which I know you can't do currently because you don't have jurisdiction.
You're saying you've got access?
I do have access.
Then what was it with Tweedledum and Tweedle fucking Dumber at the site yesterday?
Yeah. I wanted them to go take a look at it. I did not expect it to go that way.
Well, answer me this. How the fuck did your name end up on a list down in Florida and you're here now looking into this?
That's a great question. And that is one I would like to find out. And like, I'm trying to read her to see like, Is she buying that I don't know, or am I going to need to give her something else?
Make a persuade roll.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Success.
I'm going to do a competing human roll on her.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay. She nods. This whole thing is beyond fucked. I'm not stupid. I know that there's writing on the wall here. I've got the governor's office breathing down my neck. I got Cecil County. That fucking snake, Costa. Want to make sure it doesn't land anywhere near them. But at the end of the day, Cecil County had really nothing to do with this. They were the initial responders at the site 15 years ago. Maryland State Police took the rest of it. I mean, I need... Are you looking to bury me with this?
I'm not looking to bury anyone specific. I'm just looking to find out what happened. The shovel will fall wherever it does. If you want to come in with me on this, though, at the very least, you'll have a heads up if it starts looking your way.
What do you need from me to make sure that that doesn't happen?
I look over at the papers with like our names and my picture and everything. That can't get any further. No further than you.
Fine. Listen, I want to know what happened to those kids. I need to make sure that what happened and what we found hasn't. Those kids deserve justice. And right now, politics is getting in the way of all of that.
Yeah, I agree.
But I can't do anything for them if I'm fucking out on my ass. Because they're looking for somebody to blame. And if the Maryland State Police catches that blame, I am the only one still alive who had anything to do with that initial case. Baswell and Dale are dead.
Well, then we better go see what's in that apartment.
Okay. So we're in this.
We're in it.
I'm going to need assurances, though. Rhodes, I'm going to need assurances that no matter which way this shakes out, I land on my feet. So we can keep doing what we do best.
All right, I'll go back and I'll talk to my people and see what we can do. I don't want to promise anything before I know.
At a minimum, maybe you guys, I don't know, whistleblower protection. I don't know. Something.
Sure. If you help us, that would be reasonable.
You were asking about the old investigation, right?
I was.
I'll see what I can find out. All their stuff has been digitized now, but I'll see if I can get you access or at least get you copies of the old case file.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
I put out my hand to shake.
She shakes it. Bullshit stops here, right?
Bullshit stops. I will tell the others as well. No more surprise phone calls.
Who are you guys with? For real?
I'm with the FBI. The department might be a bit of a question mark, but I am with the FBI.
So you guys deal with shit like this? Like, what'd you say it was like the shit back in 2001? It was like a cult?
Yeah, just weird stuff that, like you said, most people would want to just sweep under the rug, chalk it up to some easy to explain, quick little answer. But if there's something real going on, people like me come and take a look.
Okay. I will, I guess get your team together and I'll meet you at the apartment.
All right, sounds good.
And she will take her leave.
And Sarah fully exhales and stretches for a second. And then, yeah, I'll text the team.
The team reconvenes in Sarah's room, and I'm very interested in what discussion happens next.
How did it go?
Well, she knows. Did she have all of our identities or just mine, Bear's, and Dr. Caron's?
So just yours.
Just mine. Okay. Well, she knows that my name is not Miriam Rhodes. As far as I can tell, she doesn't know about the rest of you. And she is going to be working with us for the time being. I haven't shared anything that would be, too revelatory, but she is aware of some of the oddities of this case. And I'll kind of lay down the specifics and stuff just so we're all on the same page.
Well, that's good. So where do we go from here?
We are cooperating. So if there isn't any information you're not sure if you should share with her, come to me first, and I'll make the call. That way it falls back on me if this blows up in our fucking faces in the future. But for now, we're going to be going to the apartment. She'll be accompanying us, and we'll be able to do a thorough investigation of it.
Would I have gotten my results back by now, or?
No, it's going to be a full 24 hours. So you're probably looking at this evening or tomorrow morning.
Got it.
Actually, make a sand roll for me.
Sure thing.
Because you're stressing. Adrian's stressing a little bit,
I'm
probably.
a little high strung here.
Oof. With a 95 out of 74, you lose 1.
Yeah, I think that everyone would kind of like notice that like he's been flexing the hand that's been bandaged up and is like tapping his foot almost in kind of an impatient way.
You got the shots. You'll probably be fine.
I didn't say anything.
She looks to his hand.
Yeah, can we just go? I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. An hour drive, so let's head out. And I will let Velasquez know we're heading that way.
Now, I will say, Adrian, you've got copies of the footage from the 2 sites that together resulted in the murder of Carrie Hoden. You've got the footage of the murder from the storage unit and then the footage of her abduction from the apartment.
Yeah, I think, but my plan was to send as up-res as possible images of the faces to the bureaus to see if they were in any database or anything like that.
Yeah, so you had sent the fuzzier, more lower resolution photo, kind of stills from the storage unit camera to Pizzarelli to run facial recognition. Did you want to do the same with the?
Yes, in fact, maybe I did that last night, or I'm doing it on the way on my laptop.
Okay, easy enough. We'll say that. Yeah, you get that fired off to Pizzarelli to run through federal facial recognition databases. With the footage from the storage unit, did you plan on watching any more of that, like any of the footage either before or after, or?
Oh, I hadn't seen all of it?
Well, you saw the footage of the murder itself, but there was still more of a timeline before and after. I think you had taken a good chunk from before the event and then after as well.
Yeah, I'll scrub it.
During the ride, beginning actually, Leah will mention to Adrian, "Hey, so I have this idea about the bodies. How difficult is it to hack into records at the university hospital and possibly modify?"
For me or for in general?
No, for you.
Easy.
Okay. You finish what we're doing, and I'll continue with my idea later.
No, what is it? And you see that he's perked up when you talk about like breaking into something or hacking into something.
Well, I was thinking we have those 11 bodies that need to be disposed of in some way. I was thinking we could probably stage like a clerical error to have them be marked for immediate disposal rather than to have them be saved for continual examination.
Yeah, I can absolutely do that. Like eagerly starts typing away, opening up a new window. Is there someone who I should pin this on? Someone we don't care about, or someone that you do care about?
I don't know anyone personally, but like, I don't want to ruin someone's life about this. And can you try to make it look like just a clerical error? Or if you need to pin it on someone, they will pin it on the lowest grunt of the whole lot.
He says yeah, but then you see that there's like a hint of disappointment in his voice.
All right. But yeah, no, if you need to pin it at someone, you could also probably the hospital will probably toss the blame down to the lowest possible person they could pin this on. I don't want it to fall on Dr. Grace or anyone who is on the team on the ground, sending it to the university.
Got it.
Thank you.
So, Adrian, instead of reviewing the footage, we'll do this, and we can review the footage at a later date. So with Dr. Caron kind of coaching you, having some knowledge of how medical databases and systems work, essentially acting as almost like a targeting officer, showing you like where to go, what to look for, and what specifically to manipulate, I'll ask for you to make a computer science or a SIGINT roll, whichever is higher, at a plus 20%.
I'll do a computer science.
Okay. Beautiful. With a 62 out of 84, technically a 42 out of 84 with the plus 20. you are easily able to gain access to the University of Maryland medical campus databases, networks, and manipulate the documentation and records for those 11 bodies to essentially earmark them for immediate disposal.
It's done.
Oh, good. That's one thing we can take off of our checklist. Thanks. That was much quicker than I thought it would be.
Is there anything else that you want me to do on the back end while I'm here?
What do you guys think? Can I ask the others?
I can't think of anything we need to do. Probably the less we mess with, the smoother it'll go.
Yeah, maybe if we could just keep a tab on like when those bodies are actually destroyed, that'd be great. But otherwise, I think that we should just withdraw as soon as possible.
Yeah, if it's possible, he'll like set up an alert system for himself, so that he knows.
Easy enough. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a university's network. It's their internal network, and their security is not the greatest by any stretch of the imagination. So, at a minimum, what you're able to do is set up a backdoor to where you can easily regain access without having to make another roll or having to reattack. You're able to just get in, check, and get back out.
Sounds good.
In fact, Adrian, what's your willpower at?
It is currently 15.
Is that your max?
Yeah, I'm at my max.
Okay. You know what? I'll give you a sanity back because, you know, being able to take control in these circumstances and do what you do best, especially after the kind of the little mix-ups and slip-ups previously when you first got on site at Cornucopia House, it feels good to get back into the game and to exert some influence over a situation that has pretty routinely been out of your control. So go ahead and take one sanity back.
Or whatever the Russian word for thank you is.
Bear, Sarah, what do you all do during this time? Who's driving?
I mean, Bear would volunteer to drive if nobody else wants to.
Okay.
I think Bear is going to strike up a conversation with Sarah. He's going to be like, Daphne, can I ask you about some?
Shoot.
I'm supposed to meet my wife tonight in Washington, D.C. Do you think we're going to be done by then?
Oh, I mean, it depends entirely on what we find.
You think we might?
I mean, I would err on the side of you not going.
Okay, so I can't really miss this meeting. Things haven't been that good. And for the first time in a long time, it looks like I got a chance to make things better. And I don't want to miss this meeting. But I've been thinking, I mean, maybe I could just tell her that there's like, I mean, a hurricane or something, and like the planes aren't taking off. And I mean, that would work, right?
I think she could look up if there was a hurricane happening.
Shit, you're right. What do you think I should tell her?
I mean, the truth. At least that the case is at a point where you just can't leave the investigation.
I know I don't know the two of you super well, but is it possible maybe he could just go there? I mean this with all due respect, but he looks conflicted. Like he knows he shouldn't be saying this right in front of Bear, or maybe probably shouldn't be saying it, but he's going to anyway because social skills. But he wasn't the greatest at the scene. He scared the hotel manager. He might be a bit of a liability. Not that I'm any less of a liability, but
I mean, we'll see who's a liability when one of those fucking Baba Yagas got her claws in you, buddy.
Okay, as far as we know, there is no Baba Yaga at the apartment, so I don't think we have to worry about that today.
do you even know about Baba Yaga?
Scary as hell.
Yeah.
She's a folk myth. She's a witch. Yeah, she's sometimes scary, sometimes she's not, but...
This one was scary.
What do you mean this one was scary? Are you talking about an actual Baba Yaga?
I mean, that's what we're calling her.
I don't know.
She was a Russian witch, so...
She had like udders. It was fucking gross.
She was barely human.
You've read the. I guess there wasn't an official report. Like, Sarah's just now realizing that Adrian probably has no fucking clue about anything because there was no official report. And even if there was, obviously he wouldn't have read it.
Wait, what do you mean udders? What do you mean not human?
Like her tits, man. It wasn't just like there were 6 of them, I think, at least.
I'm sorry. What?
We crossed paths with a witch 15 years ago when we were at that orphanage. And we lost 2 of our team members to her.
You mean like a Wiccan or something?
No.
And actually magic practicing. I mean, I'm calling it magic because I don't have any scientific term as to what it could be. So
Any sufficiently advanced science is considered magic when to the underdeveloped. It's not. I wouldn't be able to explain what the hell went on in that house.
Adrian just sort of has this incredulous expression on his eye. One of his eyebrows is a bit raised.
None of us have talked about this, huh?
no, I'm just realizing.
I never talked to anybody about it.
Huh.
So to summarize, chances of meeting a Baba Yaga at the apartment is not 0, but it is unlikely.
What did you guys find at the apartment, by the way?
She was a hoarder.
Yeah, it's a mess, but there's got to be something in there, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is like you all are treating this as normal. And listen, I grew up with stories of the Baba Yaga. They were sort of children's stories. Russian parents are very odd. But this, so you're telling me you lost 2 colleagues to black magic?
More or less.
We have no other word for it.
And I'm here, and those bodies are there because of a witch.
Something more than a witch, we think.
Got it. And he just looks down and starts typing away.
Thinking back on that night, we never talked about it, but things were weird. But things were weird in I don't even know how to say it.
Fucked up way?
It was strange. You saw how those animals reacted.
Were you saying that bat was like possessed by magic?
If you're test negative for rabies, probably.
And those birds, when we first met at the office building, when they were all just smashing into the window.
Animals haven't had acted weird around us before.
And that smell.
Smell.
What smell?
You guys didn't catch that smell?
No.
When they were showing us that...
Stew.
Yeah.
You were in a hazmat suit.
You guys didn't smell it?
No, we were in hazmat suits.
Yeah, there was definitely a smell.
Made my mouth water.
Like it was good?
No.
I don't know. Maybe.
Do I know anything, given my upbringing and my Russian parents, do I know any, or in my Russian family, by that matter? Has there been any kind of like folklore that has spoken to like sense or like luring people in with magical sense or sensory magic or anything like that?
Nothing specific. I think every culture has it where, the witch will lure in innocent children with the promise of sweets and treats and the like, but nothing directly linked to a specific smell luring someone in. It's more of an offer or a promise.
And just to clarify, was there a specific thing that it smelled like? Because I don't think Adrian smelled it.
You hadn't at the time, but it had been described to them as simultaneously alluring and revolting, like a very meaty, gamey smell.
It's like rotten game.
Like a too ripe banana.
Yeah, I was just curious to see if there was like any connection to any like historical connection, but if not, it's fine. All right. Well, yeah, his eyebrow is still sort of cocked, and brows a bit furrowed still at the discussion. But he says, I think we're coming up to the parking lot now.
Anyway, if we're not done by this evening and you think of something, let me know.
Sure.
Now, one thing, Sarah, and really for the rest of the team, because one of your remaining, obviously you're looking into Carrie Houghton's apartment now, but one of your remaining avenues of inquiry is what happened to the children of Cornucopia House, the survivors. And with your knowledge of law and bureaucracy, you're going to need a warrant to unseal custodial records for juveniles. With Pizzarelli's assistance, you could probably get that warrant. You could wait to see if Velasquez dug anything up in her previous investigation. But I will say, if you wanted to get a warrant, it is going to take some time.
Yeah, so Sarah looks kind of offhand mention when they're there that, let me forget, I need to call Pizzarelli about the warrants to unseal some of the guardianship records.
How long is that going to take?
Probably a bit.
I mean, I could just make some.
Have you done that before?
He doesn't say it, but he just sort of shrugs his shoulders like, maybe.
Let's keep that in our back pocket, and let's see what Pizzarelli can get us first. If it seems to be taking too long, go for it. But let's maybe try the official way, just so we don't have any more questions asked.
Fair enough.
If you want, Sarah, go ahead and make a law or a bureaucracy roll, whichever is higher.
Okay.
And you'll have a plus 20% with Pizzarelli's, weight. Oof.
Oh, yeah, that's still a 51, so fail.
Yeah, with a 51 out of 40, unfortunately not. You wouldn't have been able to get one ahead of time. It's going to take at least a week to resubmit a request for a warrant.
Okay. I'll see what Velasquez is able to dig up, and then maybe pull the trigger on the false warrant after that.
Got it. Okay, good. We'll say after all this discussion, after some grade A hacking work by a resident computer expert, you all eventually arrive at the apartment, at Carrie Houghton's apartment, where Velasquez is already waiting for you.
Adrian is decidedly standing in the back of the group, so he's not noticed by her as much as possible.
Yeah, I think Bear looks a little sheepish too. He's avoiding talking at this point.
Morning. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, ready when you guys are.
All right.
She will open the door, and at this point, I need Sarah, Adrian now, and Leah to make sanity tests.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Oh, so close.
Ooh.
Adrian, with a 52 out of 74, you notice nothing out of the ordinary compared to what you had smelled yesterday when you first entered. It's the place stinks. It stinks of rotten food. It stinks of sweat and body odor. It stinks of neglect. But for Sarah, with that 59 out of 51, and Leah, with that 97 out of 68, you smell that revolting yet enticing, meaty, rotten smell. It's mouth-watering. It smells of prey gone to ground, ready to be devoured, but someone else, some other predator, already claimed it. There's this alien emotion that takes hold of you in that moment, in that split second as that door opens and that smell wafts out in your direction. Maybe it's disappointment, it's frustration, it's this soul deep need to feed on something that is neither flesh nor physical, and you both lose one sanity.
Ugh.
Does Bear smell it too? He just doesn't have to roll because he already smelled it.
Yep, you remember that smell.
Yeah. Okay.
And specifically, Adrian and Bear, you recall that that underlying smell of rot could be traced back to the cat that was found.
Got it.
I think Bear would say to Velasquez, Do we have to leave that cat? Would that be disturbing the scene of the crime?
Technically, yeah, but I mean, maybe after our search, we can see about getting this place cleaned out.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, I know there was a dead cat, but I don't remember how it died.
So it was a British Shorthair cat. It appeared to have gotten tangled in the cord to the Venetian blinds, and it got wrapped around its neck and accidentally hanged itself.
Got it.
And neither of you were able to tell how recently it may have died. But Leah might be able to, or Sarah.
Inspector. He catches himself about to call Dr. Caron. Dr. Caron. Inspector.
Oh, sorry. Yes?
The cat. Is there... And he kind of leans in, trying to be discreet. Is it worth it taking it? Maybe just see if there's some kind of anomaly that this had in common with the other animals?
I'm no animal expert, but a forensics examination would probably not be out of place, I guess. I don't know how much good it would be with how long the body's been... How long has that cat been dead again?
So you all enter, and again, as a reminder, this place is just a hoarder's paradise. I mean, it reeks. There is piles of clothes, stacked shopping bags. There's thrift store pieces scattered about. There's only a tiny sliver of a queen-size bed left visible and empty for sleeping. Everything is buried in crap, except for these rat trails between the TV, the couch, and this cupboard that is stuffed full of these precious moment figurines. And there's this path that has also been dug from the living room down the hallway to the bathroom and the bedroom. It's the only path that's kept clear of this waist-high stack of paperbacks that essentially functions as its own wall. And in that path is a carpet cleaner that is specialized for pets and roll of paper towels. And there's a large stain on the carpet that does appear to be fresher than the others. And from what you were able to deduce, Bear and Adrian, when you initially visited, was that, especially having looked at the footage, is that maybe the cat threw up late at night and Carrie had cleaned it up, and when she left her apartment to throw it out is when she was taken. But the cat itself appears to be dead for about a week, which lines up with the abduction.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we could take it back to just to do a forensics examination on it to figure out exactly how it died. Otherwise, I don't see any other reason for it to stay.
And for you, Leah, looking at this animal, considering what to do with it, you suddenly feel this strange sense of kinship with that cat. And you feel this certainty that it did not die by accident. It followed a path that had been laid down for it, and it had served well. But just as soon as that sensation, as that thought enters your mind, it's gone.
She kind of presses her lips together. She looks down at that cat, and brewing in the back of her mind are all these coincidences around these animals. Well, I'm not quite sure. We should have some gloves or something. Possibly a container.
So if we're going to search, let's see, who's got the highest search in the group? Sarah with an 80. With that skill, it's going to take you about 4 hours to get through it.
Yeah, Sarah will kind of direct the others to be like, okay, you search over here and you search over here, to kind of like do it as orderly and as efficiently as possible as they can in a place like this.
So one of the first things that you find is Carrie Houghton's computer. It's about 20 years old, unplugged on a desk and half buried under detritus. Doesn't appear to have been used for years, but if you decide to plug it in, it still works.
Daniel, maybe you could take a look at that.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. And he'll start to scuttle underneath to try and plug it back in and get it working.
We'll start with that while the rest of the team is ostensibly searching this absolute wreck of an apartment. You plug it in, it still works, it powers on, and you actually have access to these email chains from long dead accounts that show her side of the catastrophic revelations that came out of Cornucopia House. From what you can tell, reading these on site. She was overworked and demoralized before the news of the Cornucopia House children came out in 2001. It looks like she had been deteriorating mentally for months, but she was clearly just as horrified and bewildered as anyone else at what the authorities had found there. In these emails, she reiterates over and over again that she never saw anything bad, let alone children in conditions as awful as the police said. She reminds her supervisors that her predecessor, Franklin Price, likewise, found nothing to worry about over years of visits. But unfortunately, none of that helped. By 2001, Price had already been in long-term care for years due to early onset dementia. Carrie Houghton's communications grow more and more desperate and strident, but they stop entirely when she is first suspended and then fired from her job.
And this Price guy's dead, or we don't know yet?
You don't know. Based on what you're able to find on that computer, he was in kind of inpatient long-term care for dementia.
Got it. I'll make a note of that and look him up on my laptop later, but I'll keep looking on the computer.
Yeah, that'll be pretty much what you find. For the rest of you, Sarah, you actually end up stumbling on what appear to be diaries written by Carrie Houghton.
Yeah, I'll sit down and go through them.
Velasquez will kind of come over and say, you got something?
Maybe a diary, or a few of them. I'll hand her one as a show of good faith.
Yeah, she'll take it. And as you all begin to pour through it, and Leah, you can join in as well if you want.
Yeah, I know she is. She's going to try at least.
These diaries reveal the nightmarish conditions at Cornucopia House and are reminiscent of the photos that Bear and Sarah you would have seen, but Leah, you convinced yourself not to look.
How's Velasquez handling that?
Not well. She is pale and shaken. It clearly speaks to ongoing horrific abuse, neglect, and these later entries in these diaries depict Houghton's worry about her failure to remember even writing those entries or even visiting Cornucopia House. Her entries become more and more frantic until one day they begin parroting the text from the Families Without Frontiers home visit reports that you, Leah, would have read verbatim day after day. Sanitary conditions and chore load for children are acceptable and adhere to the rigors of farm life. Children appear happy, playing often, and engaging in many educationally enriching activities. Interviews reveal that the children love their babushka. Much to do was made about her homemade cookies. Over and over again, page upon page. Until, a little more than a year ago, Houghton appears to have lost the diary in the chaos of her filthy duplex, and she stopped recording her thoughts altogether.
So she was recording what was actually happening at first until, theoretically, they got to her, and she just started parroting the same stuff that we found in the official paperwork.
But she couldn't remember it
Yeah.
when she was reporting it. That's a severe dissonance.
I need to get some air. And Velasquez sets the diary down and goes outside to ostensibly collect herself.
I'm going to make sure one of us has an eye on her at all times while she's out there.
Yeah, I was going to say that if she walks through the living room where the computer was, Adrian will look up and watch her go, but is Bear around in the living room as well, or is he looking at the diaries?
I would say Bear has been making an effort to just bag and tag stuff, like take stuff off the top, and we probably would have evidence collection bags and things like that, right?
100%, absolutely.
Yeah, Bear would just be doing that just to clear stuff away. So yeah, if she leaves and somebody indicates that somebody should watch her, then Bear could do that.
Yeah, Adrian will just sort of watch her go, but then turn to Bear and then tilt his head up towards the door.
Yeah, Bear will not follow her out, but he'll go out a little bit after.
Yeah, and the condition of this apartment conjoined and coalesced with the diary entries and what Leah, of her brain and its condition resulting from that autopsy, it speaks to severe, crippling dementia.
Leah sighs. This matches the condition of her brain at the very least, and she kind of lowers her voice and looks at Sarah. It matches when I spoke to her all those years ago.
Yeah, that's rough.
It explains a lot about her office and the state of it and why she was so resistant. She was charmed and sore-souled. Magic.
Something ate away at her brain until this was all she could say about what was going on.
And it didn't stop. Not even after Babushka was dead.
And then the kids came back for her.
We need those case files. We need to know where they went.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put it all on you. We're missing pieces and we need those pieces.
Oh, I know.
Now, Adrian, you having watched the security footage, what is your criminology at?
30%.
Go ahead and make a roll.
15 out of 30.
One thing that continued to kind of nag at the back of your brain was who closed the door? Because after Carrie was taken, the door was left open to the apartment and then closed.
Oh, shit.
There's no room in this cluttered apartment for another person. There's no way for someone to secretly enter or exit without being seen scaling the exterior of the building. The only thing that could have closed the door behind the killers was the cat. The evidence so far suggests that the cat threw up right as the assailants closed in on the apartment from 3 separate directions in perfect union. As Carrie took the trash out, the assailants dragged her away. One entered, somehow found her keys amongst the mess, and left within seconds. The cat closed the door behind her, thus delaying discovery of foul play. Then the animal appears to have hanged itself. Bad luck, maybe, that this happened right as a trio of killers waited for her outside of her front door. Or maybe, could the cat have been trained to puke at a certain time? Could the cat have been even in on it? Then the killers took a car they couldn't have known about to a location they couldn't have known was unoccupied and killed a woman with weapons they had no way of predicting would be there. It is an impossible crime, reliant on coincidences beyond belief that nonetheless remain the only explanation. Go ahead and make a sanity roll for me.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to need to roll sanity, but as I'm recalling the video from the murder itself, can I recall her disposition? Did she seem like she was fighting this, or was she like sort of resigned to what was happening?
She was fighting as much as she could have.
Okay. 73 out of 74.
My God, you lose nothing.
I'm skating by. But yeah, when he realizes this, he's going to like just bolt up and he's going to go into the room where Sarah and Dr. Caron are. He says, Dr. Caron.
Yes?
You have that cat, right?
We do.
I didn't think about it until I was at the desk. And I saw that cat again. In the footage that I saw of her being abducted, and he looks around the room. She's the only one who lives here. Someone shut the door when she left. I didn't see who on the video. There wasn't a shadow of someone. And he looks down at the bag with the cat in it.
Tell me I'm not going insane. Because I had the feeling somehow that cat had served well. And that was not my thought.
This doesn't... There's just too many things lining up here. Like, they found the keys. They didn't... This place is... They would have been like looking at for a needle in a fucking haystack.
There was a dog.
There was a dog.
That helped us.
Mm-hmm.
It was vicious to one of the cultists, and then to us, it was docile. I think we had some small theory then that somehow these kids had a powerful connection to some of the animals, or I guess all of the animals.
They did go for them.
Do we think that this cat, I mean, that cat's not that old, but it could be making new connections to animals even now as adults, I guess.
There was that dog. There were the animals that were kept in those cages. And then there was the deer that caused my car to crash. There was it a crow that hurt you?
Yeah. Then there was a German Shepherd, I believe, and I think a stray cat as well.
Something's... Is it us? Is it something we're doing that's forcing these animals to comply?
I don't think we're controlling them.
It's not us. And Adrian gets very kind of introspective for a moment, looking around the room, but not looking at it, almost looking through it, as if recalling something. She had powers over the forest, over the mushrooms, the fruits, the trees, the animals.
Are you talking about Baba Yaga?
Yes.
We killed her. She died.
I wouldn't be 100% certain of that.
Baba Yaga doesn't die.
Turned into the same kind of sludge that was in those bags.
She's a myth. She's a creature of legend. And if she is like myth, she will always come back. Maybe not as she was, but that's what myths are. They come back. They come back through generations. They come back in different ways. It's fucking nuts. Bushmoy. And yeah, Adrian gets flustered and he's gonna duck out of the room. And he's gonna head towards the front door where Velasquez left.
And Velasquez is making her way back in at this point. And I would say after the search, after the review of everything, it's been about 4 hours. We're pushing probably 2 in the afternoon at this point. But she looks around and looks specifically for you, Sarah. You seem to be like her primary point of contact, for lack of a better term. But she says, "Are we about done here?"
Yeah, I think so. You all right?
It's one thing to always suspect that there was more to something, and it's another to have it staring at you right in the face. And I just can't help but think that there was more we could have done back then.
Well, then we make sure we do it now. We need to find those kids.
And I think there is a great place to end tonight's session. Thank you for listening to Delta Green, God's Teeth, part of the Black Project Gaming podcast. If you like what you heard, please consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or a comment on YouTube. Be sure to visit blackprojectgaming.com for previous and future Delta Green episodes. If you'd like updates on all future releases, please follow us on Blue Sky or Facebook. Until next time, I'm Vince, your host and handler, with Cami as FBI Special Agent Sarah Hart, Doug as Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Gerrald Swenson, Jack as Special Agent Adrian Selivanov with the FBI's Computer Analysis Response Team, and Sonia as Dr. Leah Caron with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Thank you again, and remember, we'll be seeing you.